Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another tier list video on Zero Sievert. Today we're going to be taking a look at pistols. Quick side note here before we get started. The wiki is not up to date on its information on weapons, at least. So what I had to do was go in and compile all the information myself. And so what I'll do is I'll throw up the information on the screen for each weapon I'm talking about, and then I'll place them in the tier list. As well as when you see the green numbers on your screen, that means that that weapon number is going to be either tied for best in class or just best in class itself. The white numbers are going to be somewhere in the middle. And then the red numbers are going to be either worst in class or tied for worst in class. So jumping right in here, starting off with the PP Karov. We have got an ammo type of 7.62 by 25, penetration of 13 or 25, depending on which bullet type you take, damage of 16, damage per second, and max penetration damage per second of 120 for both. Accuracy is going to be 65. Recoil is going to be 85. The ergonomics is actually going to be the worst in class of all of the pistols in the game at 70. And then the fire rate's going to be 450. That's also tied for worst in class with the Makarov and with the RP57. And then the magazine size is going to be worst in class, tied with C Makarov as well at 10. For me, I think I'm going to stick the Karov in at C tier, okay, or mid, just because it's not the worst gun in the game, but those ergonomics, fire rate, and magazine size does hold it back quite a lot. Everything else about it's all right. Damage, the penetration on the higher penetrating bullet, that's actually pretty good for pistol. But yeah, I'm going to stick it in C tier. All right, moving on to the RP57 here. The RP57 has an ammo type of 5.7 by 28. Penetration is 11, 16, or 33, depending on which bullet type you take. If you do take that 33 penetration bullet, then that is the highest in class for all the pistols, as well as the damage. The damage is 20. That is the highest for all the pistols as well. And then DPS is going to be 163 rounded up. Max penetration DPS is going to be 147. The accuracy is going to be tied for the highest in class with both the Vlock 17 and ETS at 70. Recoil is going to be 75. Ergonomics is 80. Fire rate is going to be tied for worst in class again with both the Makarov and the Karov. And then the magazine size is going to be 17. For the RP57, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this one in great. The penetration and the damage both being best in class here really helps it out. As well as the accuracy, it just makes it an overall great weapon. You can also buy it from the Green Army for 7,500 rubles. So I think that it's good. And I would definitely, if I did run a pistol, I'd probably run this pistol, even though we'll talk about later. It's not my favorite pistol in the game. But yes, very strong. All right, moving on to the Vlock 17 here. We've got an ammo type of 9 by 19, penetration of 8, 11, or 30, depending on which one you take. Damage is going to be 19. DPS is 163 rounded up, a max penetration DPS of 147 rounded up. Accuracy is going to be 70. That's actually tied for best in class with both the ETS and the RP57. The recoil is going to be 65. That's best in class all by itself. And ergonomics is going to be 85. That's also best in class all by itself. The fire rate is going to be 514 rounded down. And then the magazine size is going to be 17. Now, for me, for the Vlock 17, I'm going to put this in good. I think that the RP57 is just a little bit better, but if you're somebody that struggles with accuracy, or if you just want to get in and get out of somewhere really quick and not have to worry too much about waiting for your crosshair, I would probably take the Vlock 17 in that case, as well as the damage is pretty good and that 30 penetration bullet. All right, moving on to the ETS. This is actually my favorite pistol in the game. So the ETS is the only one on this list that's actually not for sale. You find it on bodies. But regardless, the ammo type is going to be 9 by 18. Penetration is 12 or 25, depending on which bullet you get. Damage is 15. That's actually worst in class. tied with the Karov. DPS is going to be 180, as well as max penetration damage of 180. Those are both best in class. Accuracy is going to be 70, and that's tied with the Vlock 17 and the RP 57. Moving on to the recoil is going to be 80. Ergonomics is 72. Fire rate is 720. That's extremely fast, and it's also best in class. Magazine size of 20, which is best in class as well. So yeah, for me, for the ETS, as well as I forgot to mention, it's the only gun in the game, or the only pistol in the game that is able to switch between semi-auto and full auto. You can basically use this thing like an SMG. Now, keep in mind, it does have penetration high. The highest penetration you can get is 25 on it. So you won't be breaking anything really above class 2 armor. At least not right away, but because it fires 720 bullets a minute, you can kind of bust through some things. I like to use it mostly for like the forest, as well as like dealing with like ghouls and stuff. But yeah, I think ETS is actually S tier. I think it's the best pistol in the game. Even though that damage is the lowest in class, the fire rate makes up for it, as well as well, just the DPS and the accuracy that you get as well. And then last but not least, you've got the Makarov. I didn't realize just how bad this pistol was until I made this video. Ammo type of 9x18. Penetration is going to be 12 or 25, depending on how much bullet you take. The damage is going to be 15. That's tied for worst in class with the ETS. Damage per second and max penetration damage per second, both at 113, rounded up. That's going to be worst in class completely by itself. Accuracy is going to be 62, also worst in class by itself. Recoil is going to be 93, worst in class by itself. Ergonomics is going to be 70. That's tied with the Karov for worst in class. Fire rate also is going to be 450, and that's going to be tied with the Karov and the RP 57 for worst in class. And then magazine size of 10. That's going to be tied for worst in class with the Karov. So yeah, the Karov, unfortunately, even though I've got some nostalgia with it, and I'm sure everybody else has some nostalgia with it, being the first gun that you get in the game, is going to be an F tier. Any of these other pistols will be a lot better than the Karov. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It keeps the channel growing. And also, it did take quite a long time to compile all of the data for this video. And let me know in the comments which tier list you would like to see next. Whoever does it first, I guess, I will make that video next as soon as it pops up. Yeah, so I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, bye.